What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty, aka Doughtinator. Welcome back to the channel. The mid-engine rear-wheel cars in GT7 are incredibly hard to drive, and you'll most often be having this kind of problems with either lift-off oversteer, mid-corner oversteer, turn-in oversteer, and it's a real nightmare. A lot of you are reporting exactly the same problems. Approximately 1,000 people responded to my survey to actually confirm exactly the same problems. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get your car driving a lot more like the one you're seeing on screen. So it's really planted, really stable. You've got a lot of confidence to go through the corners. And this is actually a really simple tuning solution, and it's a solution you can put into any car tune you do in GT7. I think the magic thing to do is to add ballast to your vehicle, and then moving the ballast forwards in the car helps to stabilize the car. It stops the over rotation when you lift off the throttle. It stops the over rotation in the mid corner. Once you've added ballast from the tuning shop, you will have this option available in your setup sheet. The amount of ballast you can add, you can basically add weight back to the vehicle to get into the weight limit you require. Once you've added the weight, you can position that weight forwards or backwards in the vehicle. To the front stabilizes the car, to the rear makes the car a little bit more difficult to drive, but potentially can deliver a fast lap time if you can actually hold on to it. For this test here, we're just going to put the ballast all the way to the front and run some laps, and you'll see how stable the car becomes. For this series of tests, I'm going to run the brake bias right on 0, just so it's completely consistent between all of the tests, and already the car just feels so much safer adding that ballast all the way to the front. Now perhaps in this test it's too far forwards, the car maybe is a little bit too lazy on turning in the middle of the corner, but it's something you can tune, and you can tune that per car. So we're on the brakes now into turn 1, and the car just doesn't want to over rotate. A little bit of swaz on corner exit, but that's because of throttle application. The way the ballast works, moving it forwards, it removes the tendency of the car to feel like a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. And through Eau Rouge, we're just flat out. We can just hold the car through there, absolutely flat out. We have 100% confidence that the car will go through without over-rotating. Later on in the video as well, we'll also explore the performance points and how there could be a potential exploit to gain more power using this trick. But this ballast setup, no matter what car you're driving, if you get, for example, a group 3 setup from Key 25 and the car's just a bit too aggressive to drive, you can move that ballast forwards on that setup and tune it to be more drivable for your own driving style. The ballast, I think, is the single biggest setup feature that you can do, that is just a one option. You change it forwards, you change it backwards, and you can get the car driving exactly how you want it to drive. As you can see in the footage in the background, this car has become from a complete nightmare to drive. If anything, it's very, very stable, perhaps too stable. In all of these corners, the car is never going to want to step out on lift-off oversteer. It's not going to want to over-rotate in the mid-corner, and it gives me the confidence to drive harder. Now, to test out the theory, I went ahead and just reverted. I went ballast all the way to the back, and I noticed something incredibly interesting. If you're tuning to a performance points limit, having the weight further forwards seems to reduce the performance points. Now, here we're going to send it all the way to the rear. It's quite an extreme test, but you can see we've gained almost 12 to 13 performance points. Now, you'd imagine that would make the car better to drive, that would make the car faster, it would make the car produce a better lap time, but just watch this. Brake bias still set to 0 as normal. The only change now is ballast is all the way to the back, and we're going to turn into the first part of the chicane, and the car just over rotates, and that is the theme of the way the car drives. It is, I'd say, almost impossible to drive. Now, if performance points is your tuning limit, what you could do is you could move your ballast all the way to the front, so it's going to make the car safe and easy to drive, but actually that reduces your performance points, so you've got some headroom to add some horsepower back into the vehicle. So you can have a car that's safe to drive but with more horsepower. How is that going to be worse? Now look at this, through Eau Rouge, I just follow the exact same line, the exact same steering input, the same method. This car is actually undrivable. However, performance points wise, it's higher. It's 12 performance points higher than it would be with the weight further forwards. I don't think the performance points calculation is really that good, and this just leads, quite frankly, you can exploit the performance points by making the car safe with ballast forwards, and then just add some horsepower back in to get your performance points back. Now look at the car through here. I can't control it. The car over rotates. I'd say this car is actually undrivable with the way it is right now. Let's get a discussion going in the comments below. Let me know if you've been playing with ballast in your setups in GT7. Is it something you're going to experiment with now? What do you think of the performance point system? As always, if you have enjoyed the video, if you have found this video useful, then hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget that bell icon, you'll be notified whenever we upload a new video. Also, check out the link in the description below for the link to the Race Asylum Discord. In this Discord, we talk about all things to do with tuning, Gran Turismo 7, and any other sim racing going on. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. On screen right now will be a link to a video which you may find interesting, and we'll catch you in the next one.